Welcome to the latest mucking about with coins, turning them into rings video. Remember this? This was the half crown challenge to make it horrendously huge, and managed it really well. Too well, actually. I made it too big, but it was a guess. So anyway, the guy said, "Can I make it smaller?" I said, "Yeah, of course I can. Send it back. I'll do that. No charge. Don't you know? I really enjoyed making this, so yeah, no charge." He sent it back with a little copper ring that he'd made, which fits that finger. I'll just. Oh, hang on. I've got to show you this as well. He also sent, along with that, he sent this. He said, "Here's a little arrowhead for you. Look at that." That is. Look at that. That's an arrowhead that he's made. This guy makes long bows and musical instruments and just like sort of stuff you see at country fairs and whatever. But isn't that amazing? I just just see, that's art. This isn't art. This is engineering. Not even engineering at its best. It's just engineering. So let's take our sizing mandrel, and we'll take a little look at this one first. Oh, see, it goes right the way down to where the handle is. Now we'll measure it against his copper ring, and his copper ring is a size Z plus 1. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that level, and I'm going to put a little mark of where it needs to be. Alright, just a second while I find a pencil. Right, trusty pencil, and I think if we just mark here, police in helicopter again. Alright, so we have a mark as to where we are going to want the resized ring to be. Now, here's the thing. I've got a photograph that he sent me of this actually on his finger, and he's got the reed toward the knuckle, if that makes sense. So what we don't want to do, because the reed is obviously thicker on both sides, what we don't want that is to be uncomfortable. So the two things I'm going to do, first is I'm going to remove a little bit more of the inside of the reed, not so much as to spoil the look of it, and then what I'm going to attempt is to flat tire this. Now, sorry, did I say flat? That's because I've got a sack truck over there which I used the other day to move some stuff, and it's one of those sack trucks with pneumatic tyres, and both tyres were bloody flat. What I'm going to try and do is bring this in and that in, so it looks like a fat tyre. Not a lot, not by a lot. So realistically, about a millimetre, if that. So, oh, we got flickery light, sorry. I wish I wouldn't do that. It's because I've got this new work light up here, which I'd hoped was going to be a daylight type work light, but it's not. I'm going to go to City Electric later and get some daylight work lights. You didn't need to know that. What you needed to know is what I'm going to do next. What I'm going to do next is fire up the blowtorch. I know everyone's seen this before. What this is doing now, obviously, is annealing the ring, and it's also burning off those layers of ceramic lacquer that I put on there. So it's going to need, once I've reformed it, it's going to need a good polish and then start the ceramic lacquer again. I should be able to get 2 coats of ceramic lacquer on there today. Safety first. Oh, turn it off on the main. I should only need to anneal this the once, because, you know, actually, the other day I was making a coin, I very nearly dunked it in my coffee rather than there, which wouldn't have been a bad thing because the coffee had gone cold. So, that now, don't they always look horrible just after annealing? I have to have a slurp of coffee. Sorry about this. While it's still hot. And I'm not going to be able to film all this, but essentially what I'm going to have to do with one of these die, and see, the problem is it's too big for any of the die that I have. It's just too big. It's not going to work. So I'm going to have to use, oh, we've got flickery light. Hang on, let's get rid of that. I think it's when it bounces off there. Yeah, it is, that we get flickery light. So I'm going to have to use one of these. 1.2 I think will probably do it. Yes. And all I'm going to do under the press here is push this in so that that cone forces the reed in. This is 17 degree, this one. It's from Jason's Works over there in Texas. Good old Jason. Cheers, mate. Hope you're feeling much better. He wasn't feeling very well the last time I got an email from him. Now I can't just push that down like that because the press is likely to deform it. So I need to use this larger depressor, and I need both hands to do that because it doesn't attach onto there very easily. There is a grub screw, but it's a bit rubbish. So I'm going to attach that, and then we're going to just ever so gently bring the edges of this in to make a fat tire. Okay, I've taken a fair amount off the inside of the reed edge. I'm going to anneal it again. I don't mind doing stuff like this at the moment because it's bloody freezing. So having a nice blowtorch going does warm everything up a little bit. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I have started forming it into a tyre shape, but we still need to take this size down a fair amount more, and I'm a little bit overly conscious that I don't want to run the risk of damaging any of the detail. So I'm going to keep forming it into these dies, just gently, ever so gently, pulling the edge in. I think we're going to be all right. Right, back soon. Now, this is where I'm having to kind of like make an executive decision because that is nearly on that line. If we have a look at the little, oops, copper that he sent here. This isn't perfectly round, but that side is in the same place as I've managed to get the reed. If I turn this round, you'll see that it's not exactly equal, which no, thank you, which no rings actually are. That could have been nasty. So I've got this now with a reeded edge. I've cleaned that reeded edge out even more for comfort more than anything else, but also because if I bring this out anymore, it's going to be huge on the other side. So this is the non-reeded edge. Remember, it's the reeded edge that is the fit. So this will be quite loose on this side, but the actual fit we want is here. So again, if we look at the photo of how he wears it, I reckon that now should be spot on. So give it, might do that as well, a bit of a polish, see how they look. Look at this. I'm still completely bonkersly blown away by this arrowhead. He makes longbows and things, I mean, just like, it makes me feel that I'm a bit of a fraud really for just using engineering tools to take a coin and make it into a ring. It's not really creative. I mean, that's creative. Anyway, let's get this polished up, see what we think, shall we? Oh, flickery light again, I do apologise. That, I am quite happy with the way that has turned out. Bang on to size. I gave this a quick polish while I was on the wheel. Actually, it might be better if I just don't have that backdrop, because I think that's causing the light to flicker. Is it going to focus? It is. So I think we have got the bit that will fit, obviously, is the reeded side. I think I said that in a previous little clip. But that, I think now, I need to be able to focus so I can get a nice thumbnail for the video. And I can't because the light's playing havoc with my camera. It's not a camera, phone. But that's good. I'm okay with that. I think now I will give it a dunk in some acetone to clean off all of my finger marks and oily finger bits. And do you know what? Is that going to work? Yeah. Right. Scummy old workbench, I do apologise. But there we go. We have resized that down to what should be correct. If it isn't, we can carry on and do it more. Right. I hope that's been interesting, boys and girls. Another fun thing to do on a funky Thursday morning. Postscript PS. People often wonder about this, how I protect them with the lacquer. Well, first, I dunk them in acetone. And acetone will remove any oil or grease from my fingers or the handling. So that is now grease free. And then I dunk it into, this is a ceramic lacquer. and it does harden like glass, and it's the best I've found so far. And then when I take it out of here, I'll put it onto some crinkled tin foil, and that's because then there's no, if the lacquer then drips down, drains down, it either goes onto the tin foil or into one of the little depressions. When it goes into one of the depressions, it hangs off the bottom of the coin and can then be removed with the fingernail afterwards before it's gone rock solid. So I'll leave that now for 10 minutes, probably about 20 minutes actually, because I'm going to go and make a few phone calls. So give that 20 minutes and then another dunking in there, and then leave it for, I think, a good, what time is it now? Nearly midday. I should get it in the last post for tonight, and Stephen will get it tomorrow, hopefully, with any luck. Right.